Ever wondered if there are places on this beautiful planet where Americans are not so warmly welcomed? It's a question that might seem odd at first glance. After all, isn't travel about embracing new cultures, meeting different people, and experiencing the unfamiliar? Well, yes, but it's not always as straightforward as that. As we traverse the globe, we're going to delve into a topic that's seldom discussed. Yet it's one that could potentially shape your future travel plans. We're going to reveal the 15 countries where, in the year 2024, Americans might find a less than warm reception. Now, before you start reconsidering your travel bucket list, let's clarify something. This isn't about painting any country or its people in a negative light, far from it. You see, understanding cultural differences and respecting them is a vital part of being a global citizen. Sometimes these differences might mean we're not always welcomed with open arms, but that doesn't mean we can't learn, grow, and perhaps even change these perceptions. It's also important to remember that this list isn't set in stone. Attitudes change, politics evolve, and what might seem unwelcoming today could be the next big travel hotspot tomorrow. But for now, we're going to shed some light on these lesser-known aspects of international travel, and who knows? You might find that this journey of discovery leads to some unexpected destinations. So, buckle up, fellow adventurers. We're about to venture into uncharted territory, exploring the corners of the globe where the American passport might not be the golden ticket we often assume it is. This is more than just a list. It's a deep dive into the intricacies of world cultures, global politics, and the ever-changing landscape of international relations. Get ready to be surprised as we embark on this unique journey together. This is going to be an eye-opening adventure, one that promises to challenge our preconceptions, broaden our horizons, and ultimately make us better, more informed travelers. So, are you ready to take the plunge? Let's go. What could possibly make a country less welcoming to Americans, you may wonder? Well, it's not as simple as it might seem. There are a multitude of factors that play into this. For starters, political tensions can sour relations between countries. Despite the individual citizens having no direct involvement, the broader political landscape can create an unwelcoming environment. This could be due to disagreements on policy, diplomatic disputes, or even historical conflicts. Then, there are cultural differences. Sometimes it's not about political strife, but rather a clash of cultures. Cultural misunderstandings can lead to a sense of alienation, making it difficult for Americans to feel welcomed in certain countries. And let's not forget historical events. The past can cast a long shadow, and incidents from yesteryears can influence perceptions and attitudes today. Now that we have a glimpse into the why, let's dive into the where. Brace yourselves as we start our countdown of the 15 countries where Americans might receive a frosty reception. Let's kick off with Russia, an intriguing nation of vast landscapes, rich history, and a distinct culture. However, the political climate between Russia and the United States has, over the years, seen a noticeable chill. This tension has seeped into the public sentiment, making it a less welcoming place for Americans. But hey, if you want to experience the grandeur of the Red Square or the beauty of the Siberian wilderness, don't let this deter you. Next, we're heading to the Middle East, to Iran. This ancient country is a treasure trove of architectural wonders and historical sites. However, due to long-standing political disputes and sanctions, the Iranian government isn't exactly rolling out the welcome mat for Americans. It's not hostility from the locals you need to worry about here, but rather the restrictions and regulations by the government. Moving on, we land in North Korea, a country shrouded in mystery and governed by one of the world's most secretive regimes. The US and North Korea have a history of strained relations, and travel here isn't just unwelcoming for Americans, it's downright dangerous. Even if you have a penchant for the unknown, this one is probably best left off the travel list. Let's shift gears to Venezuela. Despite its breathtaking landscapes and vibrant culture, the country's current economic crisis and unstable political situation make it a risky destination for Americans. With the US government advising against travel here, Venezuela is a no-go for most. Next up is Afghanistan. While it's a country of stark beauty and resilient people, the ongoing conflicts and high risk of terrorism make it an unwelcoming destination for Americans. Unless you're a war correspondent or a seasoned adventurer with a high tolerance for danger, Afghanistan is likely not on your bucket list. Let's take a breather from the political tension and head to Cuba. This Caribbean island is a cocktail of vintage charm, vibrant music, and friendly locals. However, due to the US embargo and travel restrictions, it's not exactly a paradise for American tourists. But if you can navigate the red tape, Cuba's allure is undeniable. Next, we're off to Sudan. This North African nation is rich in history, home to more pyramids than Egypt. However, the US State Department advises against travel here due to crime, terrorism, and armed conflict. So, while Sudan's historical treasures may beckon, it's best to heed caution. Moving on, we find ourselves in Syria. Once a bustling hub of Middle Eastern culture and history, Syria has been devastated by a brutal civil war. With the US involved in the conflict, it's not a safe or welcoming place for Americans. Next, we land in Iraq. Despite its significant historical sites and rich cultural heritage, the ongoing instability and risk of terrorism make Iraq a highly unwelcoming destination for American travelers. Let's shift our focus to Pakistan. A country of diverse landscapes and rich cultures, but strained US-Pakistan relations and safety concerns make it a challenging destination for Americans. Moving on to Somalia. This East African nation is embroiled in a long-standing conflict, making it a dangerous and unwelcoming place for most foreigners, including Americans. Next up is Libya. The country's ongoing civil war and high threat of terrorism make it a risky destination for Americans. The ancient ruins of Leptis Magna may be captivating, but safety should always come first. Let's head to Yemen next. This Arabian Peninsula nation is steeped in history, but ongoing conflict and a severe humanitarian crisis make it an unwelcoming destination for Americans. Moving on, we find ourselves in the Central African Republic. Despite its diverse wildlife, the country is plagued by civil unrest and violence, making it a no-go for most travelers, including Americans. Lastly, we have South Sudan. The world's youngest country is unfortunately riddled with ongoing conflict, making it a highly unwelcoming destination for American travelers. And there you have it, the 15 countries where you might want to think twice before planning your next vacation. But remember, every coin has two sides. Indeed, as we navigate through the complex world of international relations, it's crucial to remember that these broad strokes don't apply to every individual's experience. Just because we've highlighted 15 countries where Americans may not be so warmly welcomed, doesn't mean that every American traveler will face a cold shoulder. Individual experiences can vary dramatically. Think of it like a mosaic. Each piece is unique, and when viewed together, they form a complete picture. But if you isolate one piece, it tells its own distinct story. So too, your journey in these countries might be a world apart from the experiences of others. Travel, in its essence, is a personal endeavor. It's about stepping out of your comfort zone, immersing yourself in new cultures, and forming your own perceptions. The experiences you garner, the people you meet, the food you taste, and the traditions you witness all contribute to your unique travel story. And let's not forget the importance of traveling with an open mind and respecting local customs. This isn't just about being a good guest, it's about understanding that you are stepping into a different world, one that operates on its own set of rules and norms. It's about acknowledging that our way isn't the only way, it's about embracing the diversity that makes our world so fascinatingly beautiful. Let's also remember that challenge and discomfort often lead to growth. These countries, despite their initial unwelcoming facade, could offer you the most unforgettable experiences. They could push you to evolve, to adapt, to learn. They could teach you resilience, patience, and empathy. They could help you understand and appreciate the myriad ways in which humanity exists and thrives. So, while it's useful to be aware of the general sentiment towards Americans in these countries, it's equally important to approach each journey as a blank canvas, ready to be painted with your unique experiences. So, while these countries may pose challenges, they could also offer unforgettable experiences. Now that we've unveiled these 15 countries, we're curious to hear from you. Have you ever been to any of these destinations? Perhaps you've experienced an unexpected cold shoulder, or maybe you were welcomed with open arms, contrary to what we've discussed. Each journey is unique, and every traveler has a story to tell. So we invite you to share your tales with us, not just the picturesque sunsets or the delectable cuisine, but also the interactions with the locals, the cultural faux pas, and the lessons learned. It's through these personal anecdotes that we all grow as a global community. Your experiences can shed light on the nuances of travel, going beyond the surface-level perceptions. They can help us all understand the importance of cultural sensitivity, of respecting local customs and traditions, and of being open-minded and adaptable. Traveling is not just about ticking off destinations from a bucket list. It's about immersing ourselves in different cultures, appreciating the diversity of our world, and ultimately becoming more empathetic and understanding individuals. So let's start a conversation. A dialogue that delves into the heart of travel, that explores the complexities of cultural interactions, and that celebrates the beautiful, sometimes challenging, but always enriching journey of discovery that travel brings. Whether you're a seasoned globetrotter or a novice explorer, your insights are valuable. They can inspire others to embark on their own adventures, to navigate unfamiliar territories with grace and respect, and to seek out meaningful connections in every corner of the world. And while we're on this topic, let's also discuss the power of perspective. How a single place can evoke contrasting emotions, how one person's paradise can be another's purgatory. Isn't it fascinating? So, go ahead, share your thoughts, your experiences, your stories. Let's learn from each other, let's inspire each other. Remember, the world is a book, and those who do not travel read only a page. So, keep exploring, keep learning, and keep sharing your stories with us.